If you are a power player, a challenge taker, driven to perform with a passion for excellence, a visionary with dreams for the future, elevate your life with People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
In a few moments, the news.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is 6:15. Here is the news edited by Romesh Perez, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. The President presents proclamation to develop the Hunipitiya Gangarama Temple. The World Food Programme approves $74.87 million for Sri Lanka. The CAA continues raids against price gouging on exercise books and school equipments. The court orders CAA to annul the gazette on MRP for eggs. A gazette notification issued banning the import rice except the basmati variety. Cement prices reduced in a bid to support construction industry. The PUCSS says the Board of Directors of the CEB and trade unions have agreed to forego bonuses for this year. International news. Number of journalists imprisoned worldwide hits new record. Sports news. LPL 2022 final games take place in Kandy today before the knockout stages and the final in Colombo. Local news in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has presented the proclamation for the development of the historic Hunipitiya Gangarama Temple as a place of worship to Venerable Galawalajanisara Nayakathera, the chief incumbent of the Hunipitiya Gangarama Temple. The President visited the Gangarama Temple this morning on the occasion of the birth anniversary of the chief incumbent, Venerable Galawalajanisara Nayakathera, and inquired into his well-being. The President then signed the proclamation document related to the development of the Hunipitiya Gangarama Vihara, which is highly revered by Buddhist devotees both locally and internationally, and declared it as a place of worship in order to preserve it for future generations. The Executive Board of the World Food Programme has approved Sri Lanka's country strategic plan for the period between 2023 and December 2027, valued at $74.87 million. Accordingly, the WFP Sri Lanka CSP will be effective from January 2023 and is aligned with the National Policy Framework and consistent with the United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework 2023-2027. The CSP is designed to support the country in achieving food security and improved nutrition by 2030 in line with the Substantial Development Goal 2. The Court of Appeal has ordered the Consumer Affairs Authority to annul the Gazette notification issued in August declaring maximum retail price for red and white eggs. The decision was announced when the petition filed by a group of egg producers was taken up at the Appeals Court today. Accordingly, the Consumer Affairs Authority has been instructed to declare new control prices for red and white eggs. Meanwhile, the petition will be taken up at the Appeals Court once again tomorrow. The Consumer Affairs Authority imposed maximum retail prices on eggs after traders started selling eggs for exorbitant prices. The Ministry of Finance has issued a Gazette notification banning the import of rice except the basmati variety. President Ranil Wickremesinghe, as the Minister of Finance, Economic Stabilization and National Policy, has issued this Gazette notice subjecting the import of rice to the license system. However, it said the shipments which were already on the way and the stocks of which letters of credit have been opened before December 9, 2022 can be cleared under special license. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
People's Bank Excelsior. Live the life you want.
Continuing with more local news, the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka says the Board of Directors of the Ceylon Electricity Board and trade unions have agreed to forego bonuses for this year. Chairman of the PUCSL, Janaka Ratnayaka, said that the CEB will save millions of rupees through decision. Previously, PUCSL Chairman Janaka Ratnayaka has indicated that CEB employees cannot be given annual bonuses since the board has incurred massive losses this year. That ends local news.
People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you. People's Bank Excelsior, for professionals who dare to dream.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Consumer Affairs Authority says that continuous raids will be carried out in search of traders who sell exercise books, stationeries and other school equipment by modifying the existing prices. According to the information uncovered by the CAA, exercise books and other school equipment are being sold at higher rates than the existing prices by modifying the price ranges displayed on them. Further, the CAA emphasized that legal action has been taken against such traders who sold the school equipment and exercise books at higher rates and that the products on which the display prices were modified were taken into custody during the raids. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with lots of CIB discounts. Valuable gifts with bank discounts till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
As per the US Air Quality Index at 10 a.m. this morning, Sri Lanka's air quality in several major urban areas has improved significantly in comparison to the past few days. The index is based on the measurement of the particulate matter, ozone, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide emissions. According to the National Building Research Organization, the AQI levels recorded in Kurunegala 94, Kandy 91, Galle 74 and Portlam 89 have shown a significant improvement as the level of concern dropped to moderate. However, Badul has registered an AQI score of 151, indicating an unhealthy level for the members of the public. Meanwhile, Kagalla, Colombo and Jaffna have recorded AQI levels of 137, 126 and 106 respectively, which are deemed unhealthy for sensitive groups. That ends Watchlight.
Great Christmas and New Year with lots of CIB discounts. Valuable gifts with bank discounts till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. Number of journalists imprisoned worldwide hits new record. The UN says famine averted but situation catastrophic in Somalia. Prince William and Kate release family Christmas card image. World News in detail. The number of journalists imprisoned around the world has hit a new record, according to an annual tally by press freedom watchdog, Reporters Without Borders. A total of 533 media professionals were imprisoned in 2022, up from 488 last year. The RSF's annual Press Freedom Review, published on Wednesday, found more than a quarter of them were imprisoned during the year, said the Paris-based watchdog, which has been publishing the annual tally since 1995. More than half are jailed in just 5 countries. China, which remains the world's biggest jailer for journalists, followed by Myanmar, Iran, Vietnam 39 and Belarus 31. The United Nations says famine has been narrowly averted in Somalia, but the situation remains catastrophic. As a result of severe food insecurities, parts of the country are in danger of famine in the coming months, according to a new food security report by UN and other experts released on Tuesday. The report said more than 8 million people face an unprecedented level of need after 5 consecutive failed rainy seasons and exceptionally high food prices. Jens Leirik, spokesman for the UN humanitarian agency OCHA, said the report does not lead to a declaration of famine at this point, in large part thanks to the response of the humanitarian organizations and local communities. The Prince and Princess of Wales have released their official Christmas card image, showing them hand in hand with their children in the countryside. Prince William and Catherine are pictured walking with Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis on this sunny day in Norfolk this year. Meanwhile, King Charles and Camilla's Christmas card revealed it has become an annual tradition for the royals to reveal which of their favorite photographs they have chosen for the cards they send out each Christmas. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines. Number of journalists imprisoned worldwide hits new record. The UN says famine averted but situation catastrophic in Somalia. Prince William and Kate release family Christmas card image. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Moving on to development news. The Chinese government has taken steps to provide solar power connections to 58 schools in the eastern province. The Chinese embassy in Sri Lanka is providing solar power connections at the request of the eastern province governor Anuradha Yahampath. Initially, these solar power connections have been provided to 8 schools in Batticaloa district. Each of these is worth 10 lakh rupees. That ends development news. Moving on to sports news, cricket first. 2 more 2022 Lanka Premier League tournament encounters will be played in Kandy today. In the opening game of the day, informed Kandy Falcons will take on Jaffna Kings at the Pallekele International Stadium. The 13th game of the tournament got underway this afternoon. Kandy Falcons were 160 runs for the loss of 8 wickets at the end of their 20 overs, leaving Jaffna Kings needing 62 runs in 36 deliveries short while ago. Meanwhile, Colombo Stars will lock horns with Dambulla Aura in the second game of the day at the same venue. It is scheduled to begin at 7:30 p.m. After the conclusion of today's games, the IPL 2022 will move to Colombo. In Colombo, the final round of group games, the knockout stage and the grand final will take place. That ends sports news.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest. An interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In view of celebrating its historic milestone of Marking 125 years of progressive innovation and growth among diverse industry sectors in Sri Lanka, A. Bauer and Company Private Limited, also known as BARS, held a grand cocktail party capturing the grandeur of its journey, showcasing its resilience and strong commitment throughout the decades and the ambitious and bold plans to take on the future. Managing Director, CEO Rolf Blaser took the audience through the company's remarkable breakthrough since its inception, paying tribute to the former Alfred Barr, who went on to setting up the first establishment to focus exclusively on organic and chemical fertilizer, including providing farmers with scientific advice. Today, it takes reigns as the most high-tech fertilizer factory possibly in the entire region. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Moving on to economic news, NC Cement, the sellers of the Sansa and Mahavali Marine brands of the cement, has decided to reduce the price of its products. Accordingly, a 50-kilogram bag of cement will now be sold at 2,750 rupees. The price revision will be effective immediately. NC stated, adding that the decision was taken in an attempt to support the construction industry. The company previously reduced the price of their 50-kilogram cement bags by 100 rupees in earlier this year in October. That ends economic news. Finally, moving on to the weather report. The Meteorological Department forecast showers of thunder showers to occur at several places in the Sabaragamuwa, central, western and southern provinces during the afternoon or night. Several spells of showers will occur in the eastern and Uva provinces and in the Polonnaruwa district. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by the temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. That ends weather report. To wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The President presents proclamation to develop the Hunupitiya Gangarama Temple. The World Food Programme approves $74.87 million for Sri Lanka. The CAA continues raids against price gouging on exercise books and school equipment. The court orders CAA to annul the gazette on MRP for eggs. The gazette notification issued banning the import rice except the basmati variety. Cement prices reduce in a bid to support construction industry. The PUCSS says the board of directors of the CEB and trade unions have agreed to forego bonuses for this year. International news. Number of journalists imprisoned worldwide hits new record. Sports news. LPL 2022 final games take place in Kandy today before the knockout stages and the final in Colombo. With that, we wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka. Back to my good friend and yours, Soundithan.